So the inline drop-off that I use for solid bags is part of the new sort of Fox system, where you get a top peg where your tubing or your lead core can go into the top of the pin and out of the side, which then goes into the top of the lead, like so. Tubing goes around the side of the lead and attaches itself, line inside the tube, and attaches itself to a ring which is attached to the swivel. Now this swivel goes into the bottom peg of the Fox system and is like so, pushing that lead back into, sorry, pushing the swivel back into there. So we have that going on, and then we've got like a quick change swivel which is under there, which obviously attaches itself to that swivel, which you can attach your rig to. Now my rig, I'm using 25 pounds of slyfish braid, about 3 to 4 inches long. I've got a little bit of putty just below the hook. Now if you look, I'm using a size 6 wide gape hook and a pop-up. So that's on a pop-up sort of setup for the solid bag, and a little sort of like plastic imitation maggot stop there. So I'll show you how I tie that. Okay, so how I tie my pop-up rig for a solid bag. And I start off with a piece of 25 pound slyfish braid, and make sure I take off quite a bit of this, because even though the rig's only about 3 inches long, still going to start off with 6-7 inches, as by the time I've tied loops and wound the hook on, it doesn't leave too much left. So start off by just doing the loop, which is going to be where my pop-up's going to go, because I'm using a pop-up sort of setup, and using my baiting needle just to get that through the hole. Okay, so that's my little loop there. Just chop off the bit of tag. Okay, I then get myself a Milky Toffee pop-up, nice white one, and thread my needle, and then just attach the loop. And pull that through quite a lot, because what I like to do, especially if I'm using maggots in the solid bag, is to use an artificial looking maggot that's a brighter colour than the actual pop-up. So it's worked for me before, using orange and then putting yellow on the top, and had some big fish, and white with like a red one on the top. Look at that, just looks awesome. Get myself a size 6 slyfish wide gape hook, which I'm going to attach knotless knot style. So just put that on. Now when I do this, I make sure the pop-up is close to the bend. Now I don't use a bit of silicone, could use a bit of silicone, but I don't. Let's do 7 turns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then just thread that back into there. Okay, so my pop-up's fairly tight to the hook. Now what I do, I then get myself a lead shot. This is 0.8 of a gram, and I found this one just sort of holds it nicely, and about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch underneath the hook, depending on sort of what's on the bottom, you know. But with a little bit of weed there, or a bit of silt there, or low-lying weed, then that's really cool. So I'm going to bite that on. Okay, so that will sit nicely like that on the deck, which is from the sort of the top to the shot, about 2 inches. So yeah, 2 inches off the deck. Look at that, awesome. And then I just have a figure of 8 loop on the end, which will attach to an inline swivel, which is obviously attached to the lead. So yeah, I always do a figure of 8 here, which is obviously two of your normal ones. And yeah, that's it. That's my figure of 8 there. It's going to cut off that little bit of tag. And that is my rig, and it's quite short, but say 2-3 inches, sometimes 4 inches long. That will be the rig that will be sitting inside my solid bag. But it might look small, but it definitely does some damage in a large capacity, and hopefully a large carp. So yeah, that's the rig.